Yo, what's good, guys? Another video. We got the American versus wherever type videos. Let's get it. Let me know how much you guys enjoy these videos. Before we do me a favor, go in the comments. Comment what we should watch next. Most thumbs up comment will be uploaded soon. Most likely. Hopefully. Let's get it right now. Maybe I can shed some light on
the culture of the United States is exported all over the world in films and on TV, it also abides by some laws and practices that many consider unusual. Europeans in particular seem to have a hard time wrapping their heads around some of them.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know. I can't name a single time I've ever seen anyone actually getting shit for jaywalking. Just being honest.
From child beauty pageants to gun laws, let's take a look at some American things that Europeans can't understand.
I'm not even a minute into the video and I paused twice, but wait, you're telling me you guys don't have like the little ballerina shits? Like, I've never paid attention to it because I'm a guy, never was into it as a kid. But like, I remember there was this show, my mom used to be really into it, where like basically they had this lady who was a bitch. Like, she was up and she'd be making these kids cry and shit because they're not like doing the right dances. It was actually insane. If you know what it's called, I will pin you. I don't remember what it's called, but like, it is crazy shit. But you guys don't have that. That's probably
sick
a good
of
thing.
Commercials. If you're a European enjoying a cozy night in on the couch in America, some of the stuff on TV may shock and surprise you. And no, I'm not talking about Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm talking about commercials, which arrive so frequently it makes watching TV feel almost unbearable to anyone unaccustomed to it.
Seals leaks instantly.
Especially pharmaceutical commercials, which usually show grumpy men and women turned into smiling, happy people by the product being sold. These are usually followed by an almost comically long list of potential side effects spoken at double speed, like Ambien ad.
As well as abnormal behaviors such as being more outgoing or aggressive than normal, confusion, agitation, and hallucinations may occur. Don't take it with alcohol as it may increase these behaviors. Allergic reactions such as shortness of breath, swelling of your tongue or throat may occur and in rare cases may be fatal. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. In patients with depression, worsening of depression, including risk of suicide may occur.
These types of direct-to-consumer commercials peddle prescription drugs, which is an advertising standard that was rejected by the European Commission back in 2002. The Commission stated that pharmaceutical companies were unable to provide impartial information on their medicines. If that's the case, why is it practiced in America? To put it
Cha-ching. But yo, this is my theory on that, and I wanna see what you guys think of this. My theory on the reason they do it isn't as much to get the general public into buying that certain medicine. Yes, it is, but I feel like it's more about, as new medicines come out, if you're a doctor and your patient comes to you like, what about fucking this pill? I don't know, whatever that would be. Hey, okay, the doctor would go and look into this pill. Suddenly, even if it's not right for that person, the doctor now knows of this pill, so he's more likely to prescribe it to other patients. That's always been my thought process on why they do that. I don't know though.
There's simply never been a federal law passed to outlaw the practice.
Cha-ching.
This is in
That's
no
why.
small part thanks to the fact that direct-to-consumer drugs and their accompanying ads are a huge business. And in America, whether it's right or wrong,
Cha-ching.
the rules tend to follow the money. Europeans might actually need a pill for the headache all those ads give them. May cause drowsiness, loss of balance, telepathic power, and hatred of cheese. No place like home. Let's say you're a European who's just moved over to America. You found a house in a nice residential neighborhood and you're going through your bills. Rent, water, gas, electric, all seems in order. But wait a second. What's a Homeowners Association fee? To a native, that's a pretty obvious question. But for Europeans, it's an unwelcome surprise. These fees contributes to the local Homeowners Association, which is somewhat like a neighborhood watch, but managing funds to be reinvested into the community. It goes towards things like residential maintenance and common spaces, which keeps residents happy and property values up. With around 24% of all Americans living under a Homeowners Association, they pay $200 to $300 on average per month in fees to these entities.
I was about to say, like, I don't want this video making it sound like everywhere has an HOA. Like, I have never in my life lived somewhere with an HOA. I feel like they're around, but I don't think, as you said, it's not like it's the majority. I feel like that's definitely more like super upper class. Like if you're in gated communities and stuff, there's like an HOA. There's non-gated places with HOAs, but in general, that's not everywhere. You can still get a really nice place with no HOA. It's not like it's...
Now, while some Europeans might struggle with this concept, it was a form of governance that was actually invented by France back in 1804. The condominium law was exported to the US, where it became incredibly popular. So, for any European that wants to complain about homeowner regulations
That's
and
your
fees,
fault.
Feel free to blame the French.
Yeah, you guys did that.
Vacant vacation days. The USA has one of the largest economies in the world. A tremendous economy, in the president's words. But Europeans looking to get into the American world of work are often shocked when it comes to vacation time. U.S. workers are not entitled to mandatory paid vacation at all. Usually the issue of paid leave is left at the discretion of employers. And yes, that does include national holidays. According to research from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2017, only 77% of American workers had access to paid vacation. Now, the reason that might leave Europeans slack-jawed is because mandatory paid vacation time in Europe starts at 4 weeks.
What?
In fact, America is one of the only Western countries where law doesn't enforce companies to give its employees mandatory paid vacation time. Don't believe me? Take a look at this map breaking down mandatory paid vacation time by country. Only the great countries are known not to give paid time off. It's a working culture that undoubtedly favors employers over employees. Americans might want to think about learning Chinese instead, as employers in China must legally offer 5 days of holiday. Although that is after one continuous year of work. Win some, lose some, I guess.
Yeah, I will admit right this second. Oh, God damn! I'm sorry. What the fuck is going on with these two people? Okay, this lady looks like she's gonna fucking murder me in my goddamn sleep. And this dude looks like he's gonna eat my corpse. Jesus! I got some fucking sick humor. The fact I think of that shit as jokes is fucked, but like, seriously. Anyway, as I was trying to say before, yeah, that's definitely, at least in my opinion, the worst thing about living in America, right there. That and the healthcare. Florida man, though, is...
Florida man. If the American states could be looked at as a dysfunctional family, then Florida would be the weird uncle who once ran away with the circus and wrestled a tiger.
Ironically,
the Sunshine State is the third most populous state in the USA and receives over 100 million visitors year on year. With so many people living between Miami Beach, Disneyland, and Pensacola, a little crazy is bound to be found on the fringes of society. But what Europeans aren't prepared for are the crazy antics of Floridians that make daily headlines. From Florida man believed that he was half man, half dog in March 2019 to Florida man robs bank, strips naked, then runs down the street throwing stolen money everywhere in July 2017. You can search the internet for almost any day of the year and find a headline announcing, Florida man has committed an utterly baffling crime. There doesn't seem to be an equivalent for any European countries, although...
Hey, yo, okay, if we made it to this point, this is what I want you to do. I want you, if you're comfortable saying your birthday, I want you to go on Google, comment Florida man and your birthday, and I want you to put in the comments, what's the first story that pops up? The funniest story will get pinned. Guaranteed.
Although the UK comes close with some of its questionable journalism topics like Britain's fattest woman ate fruit. It doesn't seem to be an equivalent for any European countries, although the UK comes close with some of its questionable journalism topics.
This dude looks like a vampire with his... Jesus! He looks like Frank Gallagher. What the fuck? Look at this dude. I feel like I'm a piece of shit for laughing at these people. I am the fucking worst.
It's like Britain's fattest.
I should say I feel bad for those people. I hope they get themselves in better lives. Like, I really do. Don't take this the wrong way.
Woman ate fridge and died. Let me know
There's
the
no
funniest
hate
local
towards those
headlines
people. It's
you've
all
ever
jokes.
seen at stories@bmas.com. VAT trouble. In Europe, like most of the world, tax is built into the price of items in-store and online. So what you see on the tag is what you pay. But Europeans
this
visiting
is
an
so
American
stupid to me.
store might be left doing a double take at their bill when they reach the register. There is no national sales tax or value-added tax in America. Instead, American taxes differ by jurisdiction, of which there are around 7,000. Differences in these local rates, state taxes, or combined state and local taxes means that final prices for the same item can differ from one street to the next. For first-time shoppers in the U.S., this unpleasant surprise is a rite of passage that no one asked for.
Yeah. That to me is so dumb. Like, why don't we just put the price you're expected to pay? Like, I don't get it. Like, I hate that. I never actually realized that it was different anywhere else up until, I don't know when, but up until recently. Like, not super recently, but a few years ago is when I realized that. It's like, that's so stupid.
Tipping point. A meal at a restaurant can be a real treat, but Europeans visiting America sometimes stress about the tip. Although tipping anywhere up to 20% seems normal to most Americans, there's no such obligation in Europe.
Really?
Indeed, it's mostly seen as a bonus reward for good service, and in some European countries, it's even considered rude and excessive to leave a tip. The American federal government, however, states that tips can be used to satisfy the difference between the employee's hourly wage and the standard minimum wage. This means food servers, valets, and
Off the rip, anybody giving you money, how is that rude? That to me, just seems weird. Like, if I don't care if I'm a millionaire, if someone's like, "Here, bro, here's $10," I'm gonna be like, "Yo, I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Like, that's awesome." Like, unfortunately, I'm not a millionaire, and nobody here is giving me $10, but still.
And house staff in certain states can be working for a federal wage of just $2.13 per hour, which is about €1.96. So if you're a European visitor to the States, get ready to factor in your tip to the overall price of your meal. You might well be contributing to a struggling waiter's rent.
That's one thing I will say is my sister actually used to be a waitress. And I feel like the idea that they're all struggling is very case by case. Like, my sister, she used to make a bunch of money, pure cash, just for tips. Like, tips, even though her paycheck was garbage, which is really stupid that her money was depending on tips. Like, I agree, that's dumb. But when you actually factor it, she was making a lot more pure cash, that she keeps 100% of under the table, no taxes, anything, than a lot of people's paychecks. I'm not going to say most, but a lot of people's paychecks. Like, she was
Child
making
beauty
money.
pageants. If you've ever been unfortunate enough to have watched an episode of Toddlers and Tiaras on TLC, I think you might side with the Europeans on the next matter. Child beauty pageants are common across America and usually consist of dolled-up little girls being thrust onto a stage to entertain a crowd of screaming moms. It's truly bizarre. But what's equally strange is how the craze got started. Child pageants originated from American Better Baby contests in the early 20th century. Babies would be scored on characteristics like weight, quality of skin, and face shape, supposedly in the name of helping to educate mothers on best practices for healthy babies. But
Better Baby contest? I've never heard of such a thing. What?
of course, it wasn't just for education purposes. There were also cash rewards and trophies for top-ranking toddlers. This has slowly devolved into the bedazzled tradition of pushing a child on stage in full makeup and styled hair to do a dance routine for prize money. Although some European countries host similar but smaller events, others like France have gone as far as to ban all such pageants,
Like,
claiming
that is-
they're an unhealthy
yeah.
way to treat young girls.
Like, that shit is so fucking weird to me. Like, I always thought maybe it's just because I'm a guy and just don't get it, but, like, I'm sorry, but what the fuck is that crap? Like, that's just weird.
If you ask me, their general creepiness alone should be enough to slam the brakes on child beauty pageants.
Like, get that
Honey
shit out of
boo-boo?
here.
No thanks. Size is everything.
Damn right,
According to
boys.
an old saying, everything's bigger in Texas. But if you're a European, you'll probably think that about all of America, right down to its people.
Damn right.
It's no secret that America has a little bit of a weight problem. 2/3 of American
man, titties.
adults classify as overweight, and it's estimated that almost 40% of adults in the U.S. aged 20 and over are obese. Contrasted to Europe, where a survey carried out in 2014 labeled just 15% of adults obese. That's a king-size difference, with a side of fries. The American tendency to overeat might have something to do with portion sizes in the States. A study comparing portions in Paris and Philadelphia revealed food outlet portions were 25% larger in Philly. And a review of 17 different single-serve foods like yogurt and candy bars found that 14 of them were bigger in Philadelphia. While a one-state to one-country comparison doesn't necessarily represent the whole, Europeans on social media often comment on how much bigger everything seems stateside.
Yeah, and I mean, as somebody who's traveled through the U.S., I mean, there are certain, like, individual restaurants that might have massive, but, like, in general, you're going to get the same size food in Illinois as you're going to get in North Carolina, right? Like, it's going to be the same. Now, you might get better quality steaks in Illinois, and you might get better fish in North Carolina. But as far as size goes, it's going to be the same size.
Have you noticed this difference in portion sizes? Let me know in the comments below. Bonus points for food.
That's just for America. Obviously, America compared to other places.
Nuts. Oh, sugar. Living in America can really give you a taste for the sweet life, but your teeth won't thank you for it. Why? Well, some American foods and drinks have been found to contain huge amounts of sugar compared to their European equivalents. Some common bread brands contain up to 6 grams of sugar per serving, 6 times the amount found in European counterparts. But it doesn't end there. Taking a look at Pizza Hut's sugar content reveals most of their stateside pizzas have close to double the amount of sugar per slice as European versions. And in Starbucks, a UK venti white chocolate mocha will contain 62.4 grams of sugar. But in America, that shoots up to 72 grams.
You know what I'd love to do one day is, like, try, say, American Pizza Hut versus Europe Pizza Hut. Then, like, I wonder if, I'm sure there is, but I wonder if there's a huge difference between, say, like, UK Pizza Hut than, like, Scottish Pizza Hut. Or, like, German Pizza Hut. Like, I wonder if there's a big difference even between them. Let me know if you've, like, traveled a lot through different countries.
I've heard of sweetening the deal, but any Europeans making the trip across the Atlantic might leave suffering from the toothache. Gaps in the market. European standards of building a public restroom involve plenty of privacy, mainly in the form of cubicles with doors that are more door than gap. Seems obvious, but it's a standard that Americans just can't seem to adopt. With ridiculously large gaps at the top, bottom, and sides, it makes for a truly uncomfortable first visit to an American toilet for unwitting visitors.
So you guys have just a massive, See, I never would have noticed that. Unless that was pointed out to me, I never would have noticed that.
On their first time, Europeans are left feeling especially susceptible to unwelcome visitors and peeping Toms. Some people even resort to taping up the gap to prevent prying eyes looking in. But as strange as the design seems, there are some theories as to why Americans build their stalls this way. For a start, high floor gaps allow for easier cleaning, and they do make it simpler to pass toilet paper from one cubicle to another. On top of that, the vertical gaps act as a deterrent for anyone thinking of doing anything naughty behind closed doors. But there's always the chance you might accidentally get a real eyeful. Maybe just close your eyes before entering any American restrooms. Triggered. It strikes many Europeans as a bit odd that in America you can pick up your groceries from one aisle of a store and a gun from another. Indeed, you can buy guns over the counter in places like Walmart, and ammo can be found in pharmacies. But seeing as guns are still legal in many parts of Europe, what is it that Europeans find weird about the gun-loving, rifle-wielding, Second Amendment-touting American citizen? It might have something to do with America's gun-related death rate, seeing as per capita.
I will say, I'm not really you know, we've had the whole gun conversation on this channel. You can find it. I will say, though, I will admit this. It is really dumb that you can go in one aisle, pick up your groceries, then in the other aisle go and buy... like, nah. That's dumb. I will at least admit that.
There were 12 gun-related deaths for every 100,000 people in America in 2017. Very few European countries exceed 3 gun-related deaths per 100,000 people, and none even come close to America's 12 per 100,000. The causes of the problem are fiercely debated, but it might have something to do with how easy it is to buy a gun. Background checks are usually carried out, but a research survey from Harvard in
there needs to be a way better research. And like, who is this person that is trying to get the gun? I will definitely agree with that.
2015 estimated that a third of American gun owners have purchased a firearm without a background check. In Europe, many countries like Austria and Germany require would-be gun owners to go through a rigorous 7-step procedure before owning a gun. High-caliber handguns are outright banned in the UK, and many categories of semi-automatic weapons are illegal to own across Europe. It's simply much harder to legally purchase a gun in Europe than it is in the US, which I'm sure is a trigger point for some. Have you noticed any
I shouldn't have laughed at that. Are you fucking kidding me? That got me to laugh. Are you fucking kidding me? Bullshit. Hey, yo, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a fat ass like. I feel like me joking about those people finna like get a bunch of people mad at me. I don't know why. I just feel it coming. So let me just say, no hate to any of those people in the mugshots, but I'm sorry. If I ever got a mugshot, I'd be laughing at my own mugshot. So I'm gonna laugh at yours too. Fuck off. Yeah, subscribe, ring the bell, click all. Thank you guys. If you made it to the end, I genuinely appreciate it a lot, and I'd like you to comment Axe. Bye.
With